guys, before we get started with this video, I would just like to say if you're enjoying my content, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and give that notification bell a big ol' smack for me. It helps the channel out a lot. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy the video. Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Roleplays to Roblox. So, today we are bringing SizzleBurger on. So if you did not see the first 2 episodes of this series, essentially what this series is mine and the roleplay community's response to the Roblox 2026 age estimation update. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time saying this. So what I am doing is I am bringing owners, developers, and very high-ranking members of these groups into voice calls with me, and I ask them a series of questions about this update, and their answers will convey to you, and hopefully somebody at Roblox, if somebody at Roblox is watching this, about just how destructive this update is going to be for so many communities, games, and groups on the platform. And the hope here is that by giving these communities a platform, by putting them on my channel, there is hope that maybe somebody at Roblox will find one of these videos and see what these people are saying about the update. That is the hope here. Now, it's a long shot, but hey, better to try and fail than to not try at all, right? So today, I am interviewing 2 developers of the game of SizzleBurger. Now, in case there is somebody at Roblox watching this, and they're not familiar with what this group is, SizzleBurger is basically a burger joint, like a fast food burger joint. Not anything different than like a Burger King, a McDonald's, or a Wendy's that you would see in the United States. They serve burgers, they serve fries and milkshakes. You know, I'm sure you're familiar with what a typical, burger menu is. And so people will, join the game, be customers, or the players can be workers as well. I went into more detail on like what these roleplay games are in the first episode of this series. So if you are a Roblox employee and you didn't see the first 2 episodes of this series, especially episode 1, please go ahead and do that so that you can hear what other people are saying about this update. So, anyways, without any further ado, let's bring these 2 devs on and let's talk about this age estimation update. Let's go. So why don't we start with your names?
Alright, I'm Jason.
I'm Mars.
Jason, what is your current role or rank in SizzleBurger?
I am the developer and I build for SizzleBurger.
Alright, what is your current role and rank at SizzleBurger, Mars?
At SizzleBurger, I am the gameplay programmer / engineer.
Okay. Jason, what are your responsibilities in this group? What is your job?
So, I build the updates usually, I plan them out, work with Mars and the owner to just make sure everything's working smoothly.
So, Mars, what are your responsibilities in this group? What is your job?
At SizzleBurger, I'm mostly responsible for just maintaining systems, working on updates, scripting, like new things that need to be added. And I've mostly been focusing on updates and kind of just repairing systems that weren't made the best up to like the best programming practices and kind of just fixing up the game that needs to be fixed up. Dad, is this dev or is this like in the group?
I guess we could do both. We could say how
works,
long you've been in the group and how long you've been the dev.
I've been in the group as an LR since like 2017. I've been here for a long time.
Wow.
And yeah, dude, as a dev, it's been like 2 years as a dev, I think. Yeah.
All right. Mars, how long have you been here from day 1 to now?
I joined as an LR in 2019 and I became a developer about 2 years ago in May of 2024.
Okay. All right. So both of you guys have been around here for a long, long time.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. So now here's the harder hitting questions. So Jason, as somebody who's been here since 2017, what does SizzleBurger mean to you personally? On a personal level, what does this group mean to you?
SizzleBurger, man, to me, it's not just a group, dude. These are my people. These are my friends. It's like a community we have, and I'm friends with so many of the management, so many of the community members. It's more than a group to me.
All right. Mars, what does this group mean to you personally? You've been here for a very long time as well, so what does SizzleBurger mean to you on a personal level?
SizzleBurger has been kind of with me for basically like a big portion of my life, and so having this initially starting as like an LR, I was able to learn a lot of like skills and I've been able to apply in like real world positions and like opportunities and my local community and stuff like that. But more as a developer, being able in this position, I'm able to create updates, I'm able to create like fun things for the community to enjoy, while additionally being able to like make friends with management and also staff members, and just generally having a good community, having a good like player basis, and just even though we're small in our server size, we can still have a lot of focused fun.
Now, do you guys make money from your positions? Because if not, this next question doesn't really apply to you.
Well, technically,
This is just something for me. SizzleBurger helped pay for my current device I'm using for programming, my MacBook M3 that I bought in 2025. It paid for like 25% of it, which isn't a lot of it, but still, it's a good majority.
Okay. So, this group means a lot to both of you, having been in it a long time. With this update coming in 2026, I mean, it's going to cause a lot of damage. So, what damage do you believe this chat update could do to SizzleBurger and to you too personally? We'll start with you, Jason.
the thing is how they're doing the age grouping is they're gonna have different servers depending on what age you are. For bigger games, that's fine, but for Sizzleburger, our game is mostly one server most of the time. We can't afford to have multiple small servers, otherwise the team-based stuff, the community-based stuff is just gone. Personally, like, as a Roblox player, you also got to understand that if you're a fan of other smaller games, this will affect you too. Like when you talk about bigger games, it's not really that big of a deal because so many people play it that the age grouping, the server grouping is going to be not a problem. But a lot of these smaller games are kind of in a tough spot right now because of it.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely. Games that rely on having one server at a time are just going to be so
yeah.
stretched out to the point where it's just not even worth playing anymore. Especially if chatting with others is the core feature.
It's going to be hard to talk to people just in the Sizzleburger community through Roblox and just other games in general. I'm not just a dev, I play Roblox too sometimes, and it's kind of crazy to see that it's gonna be that hard to chat to people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up with Roblox as well, so it's kind of hard to believe that this is the direction we're going potentially.
I know.
Um, Mars, what damage do you believe that this update could do to Sizzleburger and to you personally?
So for Silver, I want to touch on what Jason said again, how because we're a very small single server group, there is a major issue where we can't separate our age groups into like separate servers. Obviously, there are bigger games, especially like let's look at Grow Garden. If you don't really talk in that game, there's not really a chatting aspect, but those servers are still like I think 6 players. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jason. But
You're fours.
having that like smaller, okay, having like some of these smaller servers means you can have that kind of like set. You can actually section this out to every age group. But with this issue in Sizzleburger, it means that we can't have a single server for all of our players. And our players are all ages because that's what Roblox has allowed. And especially with that too, management members can't be involved with every player because we don't hire management members who are under a certain age because of they need to have Discord access and stuff like that. So if we have players who are on the younger side who are playing the game, we can't properly manage them with our management team and the resources we have. And additionally, one thing I don't really like is how the system that they built is we can't even tell if something's going on where we can respond to it because our management team is very we have a very well like we have a very well built out management team that has a lot of like training and expertise and just general knowledge of what they need to do and how to do it, and we have a very big strong support for them too so they can get help and learning too. So it's our goal to make our community safe, and if we can't have the responsibility to do that, and Roblox is taken away from us, and we don't know what's going on, we can't step in to enforce and like moderate our own community. And so that's for Sizzleburger. But for me personally, if you look at it on like different games too, well, there's two things I want to touch on: games and also studio, because there are some other things with that too. But in different games, there are some games which are very chat focused, like one I want to mention is this game I like to play. It's called Generic Roleplay Game, and this game is where there's a leader, and the leader like you can have up to 50 people in your civilization, and if you just have it be one age group, and that's fine, but the game is small enough where that's kind of hard to do because it's a lot of different ages, and you'll just have these tiny like servers which are just one leader and like a bunch of people the same age group, and it won't be enough to make it interesting gameplay. So it kills the updates like that. But another thing is it kills a lot of studio collaboration. I'm not entirely sure of this first note, but I've heard from a friend that they might make it where you can't work in Team Crate with people who are not in your age bracket. I don't know if that's entirely correct. I have not looked into that directly yet, but that's something I'm a little worried about. And another thing is Team Crate chat, you can't use it up to the same rules that are enforced regular chat. And so while I have not used the Team Crate chat in my entire development history because I use Discord and other things like that, it's still like it's still something to be taken away and not being able to collaborate with developers who might not have Discord or might not, not be able to get it or any other chat platform where you want to work with them on a game, but you're not allowed to, you're not able to.
That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff you listed.
I
Yeah.
thought a lot about this.
Yeah.
Wait, the studio thing is crazy, man. Like, me and Mars won't even be able to work together at that rate if the studio thing is true.
So now the hope is, with this series, Roleplays to Roblox, is that somebody at Roblox will see this and hear what everybody is saying. You and everybody else I've interviewed up to this point and afterward. So if we'll start with you, Jason, if you could say one thing to Roblox about this update, what would you say to them?
There has to be some other way to take care of this problem without doing what they're doing right now. Like, I want to show you this Twitter post. I think it's really beneficial to show in the video. It's a really like it's a much more better way of coming about this problem without disable or without like separating the chat with such a big extent.
Now, Mars, if you knew for a fact that somebody from Roblox was listening to you right now, what would you say to them about this update?
I think that it's pretty much the same thing that Jason said. There are many different ways that can go about this. And I want to make a little analogy here. It seems like Roblox is trying to squash a fly, which is the issues they've been facing with, these issues on Roblox. They're trying to squash this fly with a sledgehammer instead of like a fly swatter. And by using a sledgehammer, they're just tearing down the walls of community that have been built on Roblox over like decades at this point, honestly. And so by using the sledgehammer of completely destroying the chat, yes, they are probably going to do a better job at solving the issue. I can't be certain of that, but it probably will reduce the issue by a little bit. But they're destroying so much more, many more communities and many more like groups on Roblox. It's just not a even payoff. And so by going to this group punishment, this is just not the right thing. And I really think that there is a really simple solution to this that they have kind of already implemented on their platform, but they don't really have it like that enforced, or they're not really using it, or I don't exactly know. That's not my area of expertise, but it's with their chat filter. And obviously, there are some bad things with their chat filter that's not like, well, I don't want to say bad things. I know that there are some issues with it. Like people can bypass it. We have it in SizzleBurger. There are a lot of bypassing requests because it's very easy to bypass the chat filter. But they have shown in other filters, like their voice chat filter, or other things too, where they are able to create technology that is more efficiently able to detect when malicious behavior is happening, and it's able to censor it or restrict chat access to the player. Like as you know, if you get warned on voice chat, I'm not sure how many times because I've actually not been, I've not actually been provoked in my chat access, but you get your voice chat access revoked for a duration of time. And so I think that if they really want to implement a solution where they want to better their community, they should focus on improving their chat filter using technology they kind of already have, and they should also make it where, like, there's more of a focus on reminding the player and punishing the player, not directly through, like, bans and stuff like that, but first tagging the message and using technology like warning the player that you're not allowed to share personal information, which they already have implemented, actually. I've gone warned for it because if you say things like blue app or because you can't say Discord, if you say things that are close to Discord, they will send you a message to you that looks like a voice chat moderation notification that says like, "Hey, do not try to direct people off platform. If you do this again, you will be warned." And so they have this technology. They're just not really implementing it into the chat side. And I really think that they are trying to squash this. Yes, this is an issue on Roblox, but it's not the largest issue on the platform. Like there are other issues too, but it's not I mean, it is an issue that needs to be solved 100%, but they are trying to destroy it by killing everything else. And that's just not the way to go. Like, it feels like somebody wrote this down on a whiteboard and then forgot to put it onto print. They just wrote it down and left it there and said, let's do it. Instead of trying to actually consider, like, what does the community want? And it sucks. It's sad to see. But my hope is with this update is that because they're beta testing it right now through the month of December with some countries, I'm not sure which ones, that they will see that it's not really being that effective. If it's not actually being really effective, they will see that and they will able to either refine it to what I mentioned before or remove it and do something else. But if they don't do that, the hope is that if they do implement the full chat restriction, they will see how much it destroys communities, how much it destroys groups, and how much it destroys people who are making an income off of this kind of like content, like you especially, and that they will be able to be like, or that they will realize this wasn't the best decision to make in the sphere, and that they should not try to punish everyone for an issue that, yes, is a big issue, but the whole platform shouldn't be punished.